I was going to showcase the first mod, which actually was for the Civic and not for the Jetta. I ended up actually getting a little shift knob. Well, I didn't because I ordered it, it got shipped, got delivered and everything. And I believe someone stole it. My mailbox situation is such that there's a smaller one and then a larger one below that's kind of communal, and essentially the key from USPS was left in my mailbox to then access the one below, but the one below is already open and you can't even properly shut it and there's nothing in there. So I don't really feel like paying $130 for another one when there is still this likelihood for this to happen again. It is what it is. Trying something a little different. I just have a different camera app. Hopefully that'll make things a little bit better when it comes to all the crazy, stupid bitrate stuff that was going on. Should be able to tell if, when I get in here, if looking at the gear shift lever or anything else, when the lighting isn't perfect, if it starts to look like it's the video turned to 240p, then nothing really happened. But I think I'm gonna go without a new camera. There's not really a point to it, and I need a lot more parts for this thing anyhow. This is gonna be interesting. I bought a brake master cylinder because the brake pedal was very spongy and there's nothing else really going on with the brakes. They were recently replaced by the previous owner of the car. And, well, I've never so much as even bled the brakes off of a car before. So this is gonna be interesting. It shouldn't be that complicated, and then also I'll have to adjust the handbrake. Nothing crazy, very minor stuff, but I'm sure I'll find some way to mess it up. Not looking so good. It took me like 20 minutes just to find where to jack the car up. And I haven't even done anything yet. For the handbrake adjustment, I know I'm an idiot. That's the whole point. All I want to do is adjust the handbrake. Simple, right? Adjust them at the wheel because I don't want the cable to get looser and this and that over time. Where is the little handbrake plug thingy? And also, it's not in the back there, which would be for drum brakes. Is this a car that had drum brakes and then they converted it to disc brakes and then didn't do all? I don't know. You know what? I just don't know anymore. I think I realized that I don't like cars, and what a realization to make. After I realized that I wasn't gonna find what I was looking for to do the handbrake thing to then do it on the cable side, I noticed that I couldn't really rotate the rotor very easily. And I know it's busted and it looks all rusted, and I'm planning on replacing all of that stuff at the same time. And I took it off, caliper, I put it back on for some reason and it was still not moving freely. Then I took it off. When I put it back on the second time, or when I attempted to, now it just won't fit on, which is interesting. And I'm sure there's gonna be something obvious that surely I did wrong. The videos are gonna be on hold because I need tools. I need a lot of tools. There's rust everywhere, and I need to save money to buy tools so that maybe I can use those tools to do something, so that later down the line I can get more paychecks to spend more money on more tools. Very quick video. I don't know how many days it's been since I've just been recording, just random things, just things keep happening. I don't think I like cars anymore. I think they're not cool or fun or interesting. I'm going to sell all of them and use a bicycle from now on. I am changing to a bicycle channel. That is how I feel about the state of my tool cabinet. That's fun. Everything on this car is rusted and rotting away. I need to do a lot before I can do anything to it. And I want to do things right. And to do things right, it's going to take a lot of time and patience and money. And what I'm actually going to do is save up and get a lift. A little floor lift. I don't have a whole lot of headroom, but a tiny floor lift that'll make things much easier. So much easier. Because if I were to do suspension, wheels, tires, I would like to do them all at once. It makes a lot more sense to do that than to do each incremental bit and then have to change a whole bunch of stuff and waste a whole bunch of time. When it came to what I wanted to do with the brakes, everything is so completely rusted away. The bleeder screw is gonna be on there until I get a torch. I also realized that there's so much of it that honestly would be unsafe for me to try to rush and get it inspected and everything else. As well as that, I'm just thinking about the scope of what I want to do with this. If I might honestly just be okay with getting it to a normal running and driving, safe feeling and functioning state, and worry about performance way later. Maybe even not at all. Maybe even just save up the extra money. And until I can get something else that I really, really would want to put the time and effort into, like an Evo 4 or something like that. That would be really cool. Or even just save up all the way for my actual dream car, which is a Series 2 Lotus Elise. I mean, this thing is great. I like it a lot, but I'm just not, I've never dreamt of having a Mark III. Let's just put it that, no disrespect. It's a great car and all, but when I say it's a great car, I mean this car in general. I don't mean this one. This one, it feels like someone dropped it off at Kaled and just let it sit in a pool of rot. It's inflicted with scarlet rot. That's what's going on with this. I don't know when this is gonna come out. I have no idea. It's been many months and there has been no progress. Absolutely zero at all. There's been a little progress in terms of blowing my money on tools and places to put the tools, things of that nature. There's been progress on my bank account getting smaller and smaller. And there's been progress in, shall we say, you know, suffering, producing endurance and all of this and that. There's been progress in the storage space on my mobile device shrinking as I record more videos of nothing getting done. And there is progress in learning about more that I need to do with this car before I can do anything that I actually want to do with it. Stupidly, I actually went ahead and bought something that would be nice for the car instead of purely buying only things that are functional. It was just a front grille with that's badgeless because I think it would look nice, and also because, yeah. Anyhow, I originally wanted this car to be done so that I would be able to enjoy it in the summer. And now I'm thinking maybe next year to properly do everything. Next year to make sure that it's not just makes twice as much horsepower on stock rotting away brakes and suspension that doesn't function anymore and blown out shocks. You know what I'm saying? I would rather just restore this the right way the first time rather than jump ahead and make things way worse later down the line. I'm realizing this is definitely not a great car to learn how to do anything on, but theoretically, it's a great car to learn very quickly. And by that I mean, you know, if as I am, not knowing how to do literally anything, if I were to get a Gen 1 Miata, for example, that would be great. I've heard many things that they're really easy to work on, so on and so forth. But then maybe a year after getting the basics down, then I'd go to something like this. Or I could just start with something like this right now. So that's where we're at. Who knows when the next video is gonna come out, but maybe by then I will have a lift. We will see. See you guys then.